Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? It is 2:31 p.m. Mountain Time on Monday, January 31st, and been putting out a video about once a week, if not a little longer than that, and they've all been pretty much, it's looking kind of bearish, and we're in a downtrend, and be careful out there, but there has been some winners out there still, so that's good, but it looks like we got a little bit of momentum going. So what is it going to take for Bitcoin and the crypto market to turn bullish again? I'm going to go over that, at least what I deem we need to see. Also going to go over a few altcoins that I feel have overcorrected, and if we turn bullish again, I think could fly to new all-time highs. Lastly, this Wednesday, I've been digging into the Metaverse, and I think I found one Metaverse game that I think is going to be huge. So this Wednesday, I'm still learning it a little bit, so I don't want to get into it right now, and it might take a little while, and I want to spend a little time on it, along with the Metaverse stuff. Decentraland taking off today, Render taking off today. But if you want to be reminded when I get on and talk about that, hit the alert button. Also hit the like and hit the subscribe button, please. But the alert button will let you know when that comes out. Be sometime Wednesday afternoon. I'm hoping to, once I learn a little bit more about this project that I just think is going to be huge and get in at the ground floor. So if you like that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert button if you want to be notified of the videos coming out. Also remember, none of this is financial advice. Everything in this video is for information and educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a trader, but I do have my opinions and I do want to share those with you. So let's get into it. Okay, so getting into it, let's start with the news. Not much news. One thing that I do want to point out is that in bear markets, you want to watch for failed breakouts and the reaction to news, positive and negative. In bear markets, positive news will sell off just as much as negative news sells off. Actually, not as much, but it'll still sell off. Whereas in bull markets, if you remember this time last year, $500 billion investment from so-and-so, boom, price goes up $4,000. Not really happening right now. Are we seeing a reversal? It's very possible. I'm about 50-50 right now. My plan is to stay about 50% cash, and unless I see something, which I'll go over shortly. So I'm going through these. Not much in the way of news. I go through these every few days, try and mark some that I want to share that I think is important. A couple that I saw that are important, not necessarily want to get into too much detail. Litecoin is finally launching its major Mimblewimble upgrade. Mimblewimble's integration into Litecoin came by way of Mimblewimble extension block, also known as MWeb, which allows networks users to opt into confidential transactions. MWeb lead developer David Burkett, who has been sponsored by the Litecoin Foundation, said the upgrade improves Litecoin's viability as a fungible currency. Fungible meaning that each one Litecoin is equal to one Litecoin. Said the upgrade improves Litecoin's viability as a fungible currency that can be used for everyday transactions, pay employee salaries, and even purchase real estate. This is the big line right here. Mimblewimble, if you want to, Google it, look into it. I'm not going to get into it too much. I don't even know that much about it. From this tweet, it says it's also a privacy-oriented, decentralized protocol that structures and stores transactions on the blockchain. That may be even just as confusing. But if you want to go further into it, the reason I'm sharing this article is because Litecoin is just considered like useless, and it's essentially Bitcoin with a shorter block time and 4 times the supply of Bitcoin. That's essentially it. Dogecoin is literally almost, I would say, an exact replica of Litecoin. But this tells me that there's something to it. They're building Litecoin. They're building the infrastructure on Litecoin, making it more viable and usable, and adoption could follow. Talking about paying employee salaries and purchasing real estate, that's kind of a big sentence right there. So don't sleep on Litecoin. Anyways, moving on. The second one I want to share is Van Eck launches its first multi-token cryptocurrency fund. You might have heard about this already. Let's see. Last November, the U.S. SEC rejected Van Eck's Bitcoin spot ETF application. In explaining the decision, the regulatory agency cited that the underlying exchange responsible for listing the ETF, CBOEBZX, did not have a proper surveillance sharing agreement with markets trading the underlying assets of Bitcoin. The SEC then used the same rule to reject Fidelity's Wise or Origin Bitcoin Trust spot ETF the week prior. Two ETFs, the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF and Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF, received SEC approval partly because they track the price of regulated Bitcoin futures contracts and not its spot price derived from averages of numerous exchanges. Anyways, it's kind of a big deal. I can't believe it's not like a little bit more all over Twitter, especially since Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is at like a 20% discount. And anyways, those are the two kind of articles that kind of struck my attention. Not much. Everything's just kind of, hanging out. Not much going on that's huge. Anyways, let's get into the price of Bitcoin and such. First of all, still in a downtrend, as you can see. Still in a downtrend. Haven't broken that. You can see similar kind of price action that has happened, where we've seen some some little bounces, things like that. We are pretty extended below the 50-day and 200-day simple moving average. Got some good volume and recovery today. We are we did break this little wedge here. And then recovered right back into it. That's a really good sign. We've been struggling to kind of stay over 38,000, and we did that today. Last time we dropped like this, it was a little bit more predictable. And I probably said for a couple months, like, we're going to come down, we're going to meet the 50, get rejected, come back above the 50 to the 200, didn't quite make it to the 200, and then have to retest 50-day moving average again, where when it curls back up, it'll pressure it back up. And sure enough, it did that. But here's a little fake out here, dropped right back below it, and then shot up, and then we kind of double topped. So is this the end? I don't know. I'm about 50-50 right now, so I'm still playing it a little cautious. I'm not going to get super excited over every little jump that we get. Good to see? Yes, absolutely. I like to see buying happening on drops with these bottom wicks. What else am I watching? I'm watching these Bitcoin shorts on Bitfinex. I'm sorry, that's the Bitcoin dominance. Here's the Bitcoin shorts on Bitfinex, and they came down a little bit. Now they're leveling off. Hopefully they come down. Usually how it's been is shorts go up, Bitcoin price goes down. When Bitcoin price goes down, they close out their shorts, and then we are able to move back up in the price of Bitcoin. That's just something that I've noticed recently. Also, if we go to liquidations and open interest. Open interest has risen. So it was at like 27 billion, 28.68 billion. Now it is at over 32 billion. This is another thing that keeps me cautious, is there's still room to wash out some open interest. Back in June, we went all the way down below 20 billion, and you could see, like, in that little shakeout that I showed you previously, where was it? Right here in September. That was September, right? Yep. You can see we went down to 27 billion. So, we could, I'm not going to try and chart open interest, but, I wouldn't see why it isn't possible we can come down further. So it's just a couple things to keep in the back of your head. Anyways, looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we've risen in Bitcoin dominance. A few altcoins have been going up, and Bitcoin dominance has been rising. I wouldn't put it past Bitcoin to pull a move while leaving altcoins behind. We haven't seen that in a while, since I think it's been probably over a year. And maybe that's just a balancing of the market, where altcoins are getting more interest in Bitcoin. Maybe we're just due. I don't know. But dominance has been picking up, coming on its respective 200-day simple moving average. I don't really like to try and chart this Bitcoin dominance chart, but you can see that, we have like triple bottom pretty much. But we'll see what happens. Bitcoin still needs to work off its own chart and its own downtrend, so we'll see what happens there. Again, like I said, not completely sold yet. I have been buying in for a while now, but it gives me, if I'm 50% cash, the opportunity to buy if I get some confirmation that we are moving back up to the upside, or if we drop down to, 25,000. Not saying that's going to happen. It's more unlikely than likely. Also remember that the low price of Bitcoin in a cycle has never dropped below the previous cycle's high, which is just below 20,000, the previous cycle, halving cycle. So, talked about, was it last time or 2 times ago, we talked about losing the 200-day moving average on the altcoin market caps as well. We lost that and we came down. So, what we were looking for was right on. Same with the total 3, lost the 200. We were losing it right here. Gave a little fake out and then came back down. Not too extended, but a little extended. So you could see, like, yeah, we're had the right idea there. So it's good to be cautious when the signs are pointing you in direction to be cautious. Ethereum, I could see, well, it's already bouncing. Have a little more bounce than Bitcoin, just to see how far extended below this 50 and 200-day moving average are. 50-day cross below the 200. If we're going to be bullish, it's probably going to play out something similar to like we saw Bitcoin and Ethereum, that is, something like we saw back here, where he hung out below. Could take a couple months. We have the FOMC meeting in March. I believe it's in March. The last one caused some shakeup. And if you follow me on Twitter or in Stock Market Mentor, I provide a little bit of content, just kind of what I see and what I choose to share. It's, kind of knew it was going to be a little shaky. Probably in for a little bumpy road still. Still a little uncertainty as far as the FOMC. Probably past anything that's going to cause any real fluctuations in the near future based off of that. People might get scared leading into March. But anyways, now let's talk about altcoins. Got 4 of them that are doing really well right now. 2 of them I've been really big on. Let's get into them. Luna. It's been my smallest position recently out of, let's see, here's the positions that I hold: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Coti, EGLD, that's all around gold, Phantom, Luna, Matic, which is Polygon, Solana, Umbrella, and Saffron Finance. Going to go over a few of these. Luna, first of all, the reason it was my lowest or smallest position is because lost the 50-day, and we saw this head and shoulders, and that played out. Now, here's what I like about it. Got a nice hold and bounce off the 200-day moving average with a bullish engulfing candle. Stochastic RSI is pretty much bottomed, and I added, it's still my smallest position, but I was able to double my size. So why did Luna drop? Well, number one, I went on a ridiculous run, went up like 1,000%, and if you know much about Luna, they have UST, their stable coin, and this is the tough part about a stable coin. The stable coin needs to be pegged to $1. In order for a project to keep the stable coin pegged to $1, if there's too much selling, is they have to sell Luna in order to support the price of the stable coin. So they can buy UST and support the stable coin. Now, the positive side of the Luna UST relationship is that every time there's a UST transaction, Luna is burned. So the supply decreases. The thought is, well, the price should go up if its value remains the same. Now, what was happening, and Scott, thanks for sharing this with me a while ago, because, kind of looked like a good recovery right here on January 22nd. But what was happening is there's a large short position that was kept shorting UST, which in turn created heavy selling pressure on Luna, so the price could stay pegged to $1. Now, if you remember, months and months ago over the summer, Titan experienced something similar, but they weren't as well developed yet, and they were in the beginning stages. And what happened was that the stable coin was getting sold or shorted, I don't know, and Titan just had to sell, and oh man, it was just boom, just tanked so fast. Went from like $60 down to 1 millionth of a penny, I think so. But should check back in on Titan Iron. But anyways, that's what happened. We're seeing a potential reversal here. If it is, I would expect the 50-day to come down to this resistance level here. Let me draw a little line there. See if it dates back any further. Not really. Kind of right there. Put that in there. Bet the 50-day would move down to about this resistance area, these previous highs around 65, 66, where the 50-day would come down to, and I could see us meeting it there. That would be great. Doubled around 40, doubled my position around 47, and I had to watch it go down to like 43 or something like that, but looking good so far. Render. I'm sorry, not Render. Render's next. Mana, or Decentraland, took off today. I'll tell you what, the Metaverse is not going anywhere. It is... Think about it, Facebook, one of the largest companies in the world. I think so, at least. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. I mean, it's one of them. I'm not saying top 3. It might be top 5 or top 10. I don't know. Very, very large company. Renamed their entire company Meta. That's, that's got to be some sort of sign right there. Make fun of them all you want, but that's a sign that this is, big. Decentraland is kind of like the leader in Metaverse. It's kind of like the Bitcoin of the Metaverse. It's not that, but you could see, let's see, all categories. This is what you want to pay attention to if you're, Decentraland is the number one. So you want to pay attention to that to get a general idea of the market. And if you remember, I went through this and it was like the last video or 2 videos ago, and I was talking about, look at these prices are down. They're down 60%, 50%. And now look, I wish I could do a longer one. Let's see. But you got Magic, never heard of it, 145%, 73%, 69%, 57%, 32% in a week. I did get into Render. I don't like to share that too much because I've been terrible on Render, and Render is super volatile. I've had like 1 winning trade out of like 5, and I'm not super confident in it. But if the Metaverse goes up, Render is going to go up. But you could see all these gains over the last 7 days. I wish I could do 2 weeks. Maybe there's a way to do that, but I'm not going to get into it too much because I'm not going to spend too much time. But what I'm doing is I'm going through these and I'm checking out all these games, and that's what I'm going to get into on Wednesday. So here's the leader, right? Decentraland, Mana, and having a nice few days. I'm going to want to watch. You can see all these supports, now resistance. I don't have that line drawn out exactly, and we're running into the 50-day moving average, so you may see a little pullback here. If you come back down to this trend line, that's where I would buy. I'm not in this at all. I don't plan on it. I'm not typically a top 10 guy. I like value. I like value that are there for big returns. Next, Metaverse, Render. This renders images into the Metaverse. Very simple to understand. Got a resistance zone right here on this downtrend, still in a downtrend. That's a big flag, right? And look at that range. That range is crazy. So all my ads with everything right now, but especially Render, I put stop losses on to make sure that I hold my core position and don't drop my ads too low where I turn everything into the negative. Huge run from, what was that? Under $1 to over $9. Now, the market cap on this dropped significantly, so I see big opportunity here. Metaverse is going to be big. I believe that. The market is potentially turning around in cryptocurrency. Everything's dependent on Bitcoin. Still a $500 million market cap. It went down to $1.80, so it was at like a $270 million market cap. And you see some of these projects. I mean, Mana is $4 billion. I think it went up to like $10 billion or $9 billion previously, maybe higher than that. Maybe it was like, maybe it was higher than that. I think it went up over $5, so probably like $8 billion, $6 billion. So you can see there's a lot of room to run. Up 15% today. And it's, I know Chamath is behind it. He is invested in it. I don't know if he's sold and rebought. I have no idea how he does his investing. But anyways, moving on. 2 more to go. The 5th one is a value buy. And it's a high risk, high reward. Anyways, Solana. No, I've been big on Solana. If you follow me on Twitter, I do the majority of my chatting and my just like tweeting whatever I'm thinking on Twitter. So give me a follow on Twitter if you care to. I always pin my videos also, and I don't know. Try to stay away from making political comments, but every once in a while I do. Anyways, love Solana in the 90s. I think this is overcorrected. Solana took an additional drop because their network went down for over 72 hours. For me, I just see that as Solana's in demand. I mean, I was transferring Solana, and it was like 0.00000 Solana for the transaction. If I'm transferring Tether USDT, it's like $6, and it's like, wow, this is cheap. And if you know Ethereum, the gas fees are like, they can be anywhere from like 20 to like, I've seen as high as like $800. So this is another option, and it's better. It's in more of the infancy stages, so it may have more issues like that, but it is. I think it's a value in the 90s, especially when the market goes bullish. See no reason why, if the market goes bullish, Bitcoin goes to new all-time high, why this can break all-time highs and then some. I'm thinking like, I don't want to get too crazy, give people too many ideas and come back and say, oh, you said it was going to this. But I've been in crypto since 2016, and I've seen things go up 1,000%, 2,000%, 10,000%. I've also seen things go down 99%. So it's a give and take, and it does happen. This is a top 10. It's a little more established, so the risk of going down 99% is pretty low, whereas, bull market peak price could be $1,000 plus. So it's under 100 right now. And I think like once people are confident again that the network isn't going to go down, I mean, it still may go down again in the future, but the network's back and running. They see it's overcorrected. I mean, pretty extended, broke out of this channel. And 50 days about to cross 200. I could see it coming back to retest 200 to 143 short term. Does that mean it's going to happen? No. But Solana's my biggest position because I think it's the most overcorrected. Lastly, Saffron Finance, DeFi project. I'm on gate.io just for the chart. Like this, I'm going to give you a few reasons why. Up on it, pretty nice so far. First of all, it's cheap. Well, $155 may not sound cheap. So why is it cheap? Is because it's only, this isn't updated too much, probably $12 million market cap. So to go to 1.2 billion would be 100x. Am I looking at everything like my expectation is to go 100x? No. I'm looking for value and the potential that they can in these micro caps. And I'm looking for a team behind it. I'm looking for investors behind it, which should have this pulled up. Multicoin Capital, if you're not familiar with them, they, at one point, I don't know if they still are, were the best performing cryptocurrency fund. You can go to their site and you could look at their portfolio. They had the Graph, they had Alpha, Arweave. They had these all cheap. They had Solana at like $1. So their track record is good. And one of the cryptocurrencies in their fund is, there it is, Saffron. I believe they bought this around $2,500. You bet your ass they're not going to take a loss like this, right? And if they believe in it at $2,500 and they're one of, if not the best performing crypto fund, then why would I not trust them a little bit? Don't trust anybody, but trust a little bit. I like to look for inside institutional investors. And this one is really cheap. Very, very, very slow downward movement. You could stake this, and one of the things I like about the staking, you're going to think that it's like a bad thing, is that it stakes only at 8%. Yeah, I'm up $1 on my staking. Woohoo! Anyways, 8%. The reason I like it at 8% and not 70% is because it doesn't dilute the supply as quickly. When you're at 72%, like YFDI was, 100%, 50%, it dilutes the supply greatly. That was a mistake I made with Splinterlands, SPS, the Splinter Shards token. And it's given in airdrops. It was staking at over 50%, and it was staking at over 60% on PancakeSwap. It's like that supply is just getting diluted, and it was only at like 1/10 of the supply. Other thing I like about Saffron is the low supply, max supply of 100,000. Right? This could reach the price of Bitcoin and still be worth 21 times less. Well, not even that. 210 times less. Sorry. So this could reach $40,000 and still be worth 1/200th of Bitcoin. Circulating supply, here's what else I like, is already at 80,000. So we're almost fully mined. And once that happens, like there's no more diluting the supply. The rewards, they're probably holding some. The staking rewards will probably still continue, but they will end at some point. 8% is better than nothing, but it doesn't dilute the supply. So that is everything for today. 5 altcoins that if this bull run is back on are going to explode. Some more than others, but some are safer. The top 10 are the safest from the biggest losses. Further down you go, the lower market cap, the more risk you're going to see of bigger losses. Those could end up being the 90%, 99% losses. Anyways, the 5 altcoins I like: Luna, Mana, Render, Solana, and microcap Saffron Finance. These are not buy or sell recommendations. Let me give that to you, that little tidbit real quick. Also, watching for Bitcoin to break this downtrend, right? That's what we really want to watch. Falling wedge is back in effect, back in play. Hopefully it doesn't continue down any longer, because then we might see 28,000. But it's back in play, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not sold yet. I want to see us break out of this. And then we still have a lot of work to do. 50-day, 200-day moving average. Same kind of thing as back here, but we did it. Lastly, I just think that there's too many invested. The adoption is growing rapidly. I don't think we're done yet. Glad that been cautious the last couple months. And now it's potentially looking like it could be time soon to turn the gas back on, to step on the gas again. Not there yet. Still kind of 50-50. And it's good to be cautious. Am I a scared trader? Yeah, I'm a scared trader. I don't like to lose money. I don't like to see my account balance go down. I hate the color red. Anyways, before I ramble any further, I'm going to leave it at that. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Remember, going to go into Metaverse more on Wednesday, because if we go back up, I think that's the one that has corrected the most. Going to go into a project that I think is going to be huge, and it's still at a huge value. So hit the alert button if you want to be aware when that video comes out. So please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time, which should be Wednesday. Bye.